Hey everybody, Jimmy from Honeycomb Heroes. So as you know, a few days ago we had one of our hives swarm. It was one of these two. I'm not sure which one it was. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to go in and we're going to inspect the hives. And what we're going to be looking for is the health of the hive, along with any indication that there was a queen left behind before the swarm, right? So generally what happens is the mated queen will take about half of the hive with them when they leave, and then that was the swarm that we found in the tree and then was able to put it into another nuke. So we're gonna look in here and see if our virgin queen is there. And if we can't see her, we're gonna look for eggs and just overall general health of the hive, right? And so I'm gonna go into the hive and pull out some frames and then bring them up close to you so you can get kind of idea of what we're looking for, okay? All right, well, let me get suited up. Today, you're gonna need a smoker. So if you're inspecting your hives, this is what you would need. You're gonna need your hive tool, you're gonna need your gloves, you're gonna need a smoker, and obviously a bee suit, and preferably long pants. Our cameraman today is being brave.
Not by choice.
All right, we'll get suited up. So the first hive we're going to go into here is we're going to go into the one with the least amount of activity. I thought that it was this hive that swarmed, and it may have been, but this hive doesn't seem to have as much activity going in and out. So I want to get an overall look inside the hive. Again, you want to be as minimal intrusiveness as possible. I mean, you want to get in and get out. You don't really want to mess them up too much. And I'm going to teach you some techniques with the hive tool today too. And maybe it'll help you with your hive and your apiary and how to do the minimal amount of damage necessary in order to go through and get a good inspection done.
Yeah, that one, I think that one.
We got our smoker going, starting to go out a little bit. Let me get her pumped up a little bit. It's a nice sunny day today. It's a little windy, a little windier than I like. So I'm gonna smoke the entrance holes on mine. So what you would wanna do is just smoke the overall entrance if you're using a full hive body. I'm gonna pop the lid. At the same time that I'm popping the lid loose, I'm gonna get a little smoke under there, right? And you wanna be careful, you don't want your smoke to be too hot because you'll burn the wings off the bees, right? Okay, well, it doesn't look like I'm seeing much activity up here on top. As you can see, the bees are they're not really doing much up here. So maybe this was the hive that swarmed, I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't due to overpopulation because there's plenty of room in here. So I'm gonna crack the top box for you to be your honey super or your top one. I'm gonna get some smoke in there. We're gonna pull that off. And the one thing you wanna remember is you don't take your box and set it down straight. You wanna set it up on its side so that the bees that are on the bottom aren't gonna get hurt. Obviously there's not that many on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my apivar strip and get it out of the way. And I'm gonna put that back in because it hasn't had the full 45 days yet. So I wanna get the full benefit of the mite strip, but I'm gonna pull it out of my way. Okay, as you can see, there's plenty of population in here. These bees look pretty calm. Now, we've had some cold weather here in Virginia. Maybe that's why they haven't moved up top. Maybe this queen's a little bit of a slower layer. We don't know, but I'm gonna at least dive in enough to see if I can find some eggs at minimum. So I'm gonna take my hive, I put down the short end, and I'm gonna turn it like a wrench. And that gives me a little more torque. And I'm gonna pull out this outside frame because generally your outside frame is gonna be a honey frame or pollen or something like that. So I'm gonna get the corner of my hive tool down in, and I'm just gonna pry it out. I'm gonna use the hive itself. I'm gonna go nice and slow, break both sides loose, right? Then I can set my hive tool down, use both hands. And I'm gonna try not to roll the bees. As you can see, I'm coming out nice and slow. And the first frame that you pull out, that's what you want to do. You want to go nice and slow. And then after that, you kind of pick up the pace a little bit. So I'm looking in these empty cells here, and I do see some cap brood. I see some queen cells down on the bottom. One of them is capped. See that? So this hive, if it hasn't swarmed, is about to swarm. Okay? So they've got a capped queen in here. And what I could do is take 2 frames of brood out, put this frame in, and have myself another hive. Right? Oh, and looky here. We've had two queen cells hatch right here. So that probably swarm cells, and this is probably the hive that did swarm. The population is a little bit lower, and I haven't seen any eggs yet. So that means they're more than likely dealing with a younger queen that hasn't started laying yet. I do see some drone, so hopefully she'll get mated. Let me pull out another frame. And as you can see, once you have space to work, it's a little easier to get your frames out. Again, I'm not seeing any eggs, right? But there's the queen. Okay, so that was the first hive. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. The video is already getting a little bit longer than what most audience want to watch. So I'm just gonna quickly go through this one. This one's pretty healthy. It's full of bees. Cameraman's gonna take off because he's not fully dressed. And this hive is a little bit hotter than the other one. So we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna smoke them down, but we're gonna point the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll come in closer as needed to show eggs or anything else that I notice while I'm looking in the hive. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna smoke these guys down nice and good. So there are quite a few bees up top. Given that these are newer boxes, I'm gonna smoke them down a little bit. Got this loose. They got it glued pretty good, so they're pretty active. There's not really enough upstairs to inspect. It's not really drawn out yet. They have some comb up there, but not a lot. So I'm gonna set my box down. Oh yeah, these guys aren't that bad. They're about the same size as the other hive. They may actually have swarmed too. Let me pull out my apivar strip so that I can get a good view. Okay. Again, I'm gonna go from the outside. So I'm gonna move that over. Get this outside frame out. There we go. All right. So looking at the first frame, it's a little different. You can see here, we've got good brood pattern. I'm still not seeing eggs, but we got a lot of cap brood. There is a queen cell right there, but from what I can tell, it's empty. And oh wow, look at that. Really nice brood pattern. And look at that. This is why you gotta be careful. Even on your first frame that you pull out, there's the queen right there. Obviously healthy, and she's laying very well. So I'm gonna not butt into this hive too much. They look healthy, they look good. I know they got a queen, and they have larvae at varying age levels. So I'm probably gonna stop my inspection, go ahead and put them back in, being careful not to roll the bees because I know the queen is on that frame we just saw her. All right, I'm gonna spread out my frames a little more, give them their bee space that they want, smoke them down so that I'm not squashing that many bees. Wind's blowing the wrong way. Right. And again, you don't want your smoke to get hot. You want your smoke to be nice and thick. And as soon as it starts to thin out, you could be shooting flames. Now you got a flamethrower instead of a smoker. So these bees are stirred up a little bit, but we got them smoked down pretty good. I'm gonna put my apple bar strip back in, throw my box back on. Put my lid on. Smoke these bees down a little bit, just kind of calm them down. All right. So some of you may think that I went through that pretty fast. I probably should have done more thorough inspection in the hive, but I've been beekeeping for a long time. And what I saw just off the first frame, perfectly acceptable. This hive is healthy, and the only thing I'm gonna do going through it even further is causing more damage. And the least amount of damage that you do to the hive and the least intrusive you are, the better your hive's gonna be in the long run. A lot of times, hives are just gonna have a problem that a beekeeper can't solve, right? So they know what they're doing. The queen looks healthy. They've got eggs in different stages of larvae. I'm leaving them alone. I treat for mites and then that's it. The other hive, I'm gonna have to come back, do another inspection because right now their queen's not laying eggs and we're gonna have to come back and do an egg inspection. So I'll bring you along for that and hopefully it'll be good news. All right, well you guys have a great day, enjoy it, and happy beekeeping. What's the most important thing if you start getting stung? What should you do? Most important thing, what should you do?
Run as fast as you can. Turn into Usain Bolt.
Don't forget to swat your arms around.
You have to swat.
You gotta swat.
You gotta swat.
Yeah.